Floaty Goaty Lore, Volume 1, Chapter 6, The Rise of Phoenix. Floaty Goaty immediately wanted to investigate the temple, but nobody else was up for it. Floaty Goaty ignored them and ran down towards the temple. He opened the door and walked right in like it was nothing. Then, one of Rim's Minotaur army members attacked Floaty Goaty. Floaty Goaty thought it would be strong, but he was exhausted from the run down to the temple. So his only hope was to fistfight the attacker. He punched it once, and it immediately faded away. "See, it isn't so bad," Floaty Goaty said. So everyone slid down to the temple. That's when Floaty Goaty flew out and trapped everyone in the temple. Floaty Goaty then flew out back to the Prairie Dog Kingdom. He flew over to Crunchy's dead body and stared at it for a good few minutes. He then flew down and sliced off one of his tentacles. He then flew back to the volcano he fell into and flew above it to look for Bobby Broccoli. He found his body and took his stem. He then flew back to the pig temple and took Gerald T. Piggerson's snout. He then flew up to the North Pole and grabbed the Cold Island Epic Wubbox's core. He then flew to Goofy Kingdom and stole Ohio Final Boss's cape. Floaty Goaty ran to Goatshire, where construction had been completed. He walked into his house and sat all of the items on his crafting table. He placed the cape down flat. Then he placed the Wubbox core in the middle. He then placed the tentacle pointing upwards on the core, and then turned the whole thing over. He placed the pig snout in the middle and placed Bobby Broccoli's stem on top of the snout. He then left Goatshire with the weapon he made on his crafting table. He flew back to the temple and opened the gate. He said to the gang that he had left his oven on, so he had to fly back to the house. Surprisingly, they all believed him, except Hashi. He saw Floaty Goaty flying to the North Pole while he was also out and about. Floaty Goaty looked in Hashi's bag, and he had the Foot of Fog. Floaty Goaty looked at the foot for a couple minutes. He knew that thing was powerful, and he wanted it bad. Floaty Goaty snapped out of it, and he started his adventure into the temple. He screamed down into the cave, "I'm the bald guy," and it echoed all the way down. That attracted multiple of Rim's army members, and they weren't as weak as the other one. Little did the gang know, Floaty Goaty set up a decoy that would run at him and fade away as he attacked it. He did this so that the gang would run down to the temple and get distracted so he could fly out and grab the artifacts. But little did he know, Hashi had snuck out and grabbed the Foot of Fog just before Floaty Goaty closed the door, and he didn't notice. The other army members attacked the gang, but Fuzzy managed to slice them. The gang made their way into a bigger room crowded with many army members. Floaty Goaty killed one named GT and took its ear for his weapon. Floaty Goaty managed to kill another one, but everyone was being tackled by the army. Phoenix was the only one left standing. He stood still for quite some time, and Floaty Goaty looked back, asking, "Are you going to help or what?" And then a massive fireball appeared in front of everyone. In the blink of an eye, the guards looked up and screamed when they saw the flames. The flames burned them to a crisp and melted the temple. Floaty Goaty looked dead ahead to see a surprised Rim looking at his army's dead bodies. Rim looked at Floaty Goaty and asked if he did this. "No, it was him. Hog Rider freed him, but Hog Rider was a bad guy," said Floaty Goaty, pointing at Phoenix. Rim was a chill dude, so he didn't really mind. Floaty Goaty then asked, "You seem like a powerful guy. You want to join us?" Rim excitedly agreed. Rim joined the gang on their adventures, and they soon discovered a part of the temple that Phoenix's magma didn't burn. It went pretty far underground, though, so the gang had to be careful. The gang started going down into the rest of the temple and stumbled across a room with seemingly no exit. There were ancient Japanese characters on the wall that spun around and made a puzzle. The first one had 3 sides, each one with a different string of Japanese characters. The next stone also had 3 sides, with its own unique strings of Japanese characters. The final stone's sides also had Japanese characters on them. Floaty Goaty told Tyson and Rim to translate the texts. They came up with many translations, but the ones that made sense made things obvious. The completed transition roughly translated to "This is correct." Floaty Goaty activated the lever at the front of the room, which opened the door to another room. This room had another puzzle. It had multiple animal faces in a row, but one of them was ripped off the wall. Floaty Goaty tried dusting off the wall to uncover the animal face, but it was completely gone. Floaty Goaty dusted the rest of the wall to look for more clues, but he found holes in the wall. He looked very closely inside, and they were armed. He told the gang to be careful with the decisions they made. Right underneath where the missing symbol was, Floaty Goaty saw a loose, flat stone. He turned it over and saw the missing animal. Floaty Goaty entered the code: goat, rhea, snake, lion. He pulled the lever and told everyone to duck down just in case. Just then, many arrows flew right above them all. Floaty Goaty then looked for more clues on the right code and looked back at the wall with the animal faces. Floaty Goaty then realized that the symbols could have been flipped backwards. He flipped the code around and pulled the lever. It opened up a room that looked luxurious. It had pure golden walls and precious gems all around. Floaty Goaty used his powers to make a bag with infinite storage, and he grabbed everything. That uncovered a secret code in Goatish, so Floaty Goaty translated it, and it had a message for someone in the gang. The message said, "Phoenix, destiny awaits." Floaty Goaty pressed a big red button in the middle of the room, and the whole room shoots up to the sky through a hole in the roof. Floaty Goaty then looked all around and saw something glowing in the forest. Floaty Goaty told Phoenix to go in, as the message was for him. He walked, scared, into the forest, and for several minutes the gang saw nothing. But then they saw that light again. They saw Phoenix's shadow and a small creature. Out walked Phoenix with a two-sided scythe in his hands that glowed a brilliant blue. Next to him was Big Ounce. He came out and said hello to the gang once again and told Phoenix to start his training. He started off with scythe training. He was given a test dummy made out of hay, and Big Ounce told him to stand 9,000 feet away from it. Phoenix said that was an outrageous amount to swing from, but he did it anyways. He flew towards the dummy at light speeds. The thing was ripped to shreds with the blink of an eye. Big Ounce was astonished that he could do so much. Next up was Phoenix's fireball training. He was set up another test dummy and had to shoot a magma ball at it. Big Ounce gave him a signal to shoot, so he shot a giant fireball straight into the target. It burst into flames within milliseconds after impact. Floaty Goaty got so excited that he shot up to the sky and started doing loop-de-loops in the air. Phoenix had his true strength revealed. Floaty Goaty then realized that Phoenix had the potential to be greater than ever. Floaty Goaty signaled Big Ounce to set up another test dummy for Phoenix to train with. Floaty Goaty told Phoenix to control his magma to one line and shoot at the ground. So he shot a magma ball straight at the ground, and it turned one thin line of grass into lava. Then shot upwards on the dummy, obliterating it in seconds. He then told him to shoot it upwards and try to somehow throw the ball back down. He shot upwards and summoned a line that smacked the ball back down into the target. It was, again, obliterated in seconds. Floaty Goaty was so happy to see Phoenix actually be able to help out the team for once. With this power, they could definitely eliminate Donald Trump and perish Ohio Final Boss's soul to stop monster production once and for all. Only time will tell if these monsters keep showing up.